Check. Check. Is it on? All right. We're good. All right, everybody. Welcome. Today's episode, showing up is 100% of the battle. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm James Sweezy here from James Sweezy Live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I'm just kidding. I don't actually post anything to Pinterest. But if you want to be bored to death, head on over and look at my page. Anyway, showing up, 100% of the battle. This episode brought to you by www.chapelhilldetox.com, because shooting dope and smoking crack is bad. And drinking yourself to death is bad as well. Excuse me. So showing up is 100% of the battle. Let me tell you, when I was 2 years, maybe, clean, sober, whatever you want to call it, I was working at a local restaurant here as a chef. And I was standing there and I saw a guy come in, and I used to be in the methadone clinic with him. And I was good. I was working, having babies, feeling good, loving my job. And he didn't look so good, you know? And I felt bad. It's like, man, I wish I could communicate something to him that it would get him out of that clinic. And so he could feel good like I feel right now. And it was frustrating. So I decided to record a video. And I stood there in the restaurant, recorded one, scrapped it, went back to my apartment. And while Elena and the girls were asleep, I pulled out my phone and I recorded another one. I call it the worst video on the internet. It's actually on my YouTube channel right now. It's the first one on there. It's called Arguing with Myself. So again, if you want to be bored to death and make yourself nauseous, you can go over and watch it. So I recorded a video, and I was scared to post it. What are they going to think? What are people going to say about me? They're going to make fun of the way I look. They're going to make fun of the way I talk. They're going to say, this is not helpful. You're an idiot. And actually, a lot of people did. You know, it happened. But I had to get past that fear. I had to show up. Right? And eventually, I think it took me 2 weeks before I reached over and clicked the little create a page button on Facebook and threw in some generic background image. I didn't know what I was doing. And posted the video, sent it to a friend of mine, and he shared it. And I got a couple positive comments off of it. A couple negative too. But I showed up. You see, I walked through that fear and posted that first video. Then I would continue on to make a couple more and post those. And the hate continued, but I decided that there was people that needed to, and possibly some people that wanted to hear it. So I kept posting. And eventually, a celebrity shared one of them. And my inbox erupted from all over the country. Hundreds of messages, sometimes 800 a day, while that video was up on that celebrity's page. And I sat there and was like, I can't answer all these people. So I turned the message button off, right? I called my sponsor and I said, hey, man, what do I do? These people are messaging me. There's no way. I'm working. I have kids. I have a family. I can't answer all these. He said, well, why don't you make another video and just keep posting those? And they can go over to the page and watch them. I was like, okay. So I kept doing that. You know, on Facebook, on your personal profile, there's a little button there. It's a message request button. Actually, you get to it through Messenger. I'm giving y'all bad information. But if you go into Messenger, you have to click a couple different options, and there's a message request inbox. That is when someone sends you a message on your personal profile and you're not friends with them. I don't get a notification for it. I guess I have them turned off. But I don't get a notification. But there's this little red dot, the little red anxiety dot that pops up, and it says, so-and-so wants to connect with you. But it doesn't give you a notification ding on Messenger and show you, hey, this person messaged you, right? That inbox started filling up. And at first I was kind of resentful. I was like, I don't know these people, and they're private messaging me on my personal profile. But why don't they go over to my fan page and watch the info there? Then I realized, well, I did turn the message button off. So there's no way to message me on there. They could go to the comments and ask a question and I'll catch up to it. But maybe they want to be anonymous. Maybe they want to be private. So they're messaging me on my personal page. But I decided I was not going to answer them. I guess about a week went by. Standing at work again. Same place, standing there in the front of the restaurant. And something hit me. I was like, I'm just going to click on it and go in there and at least tell those people to go over to my fan page and message me there or ask questions there. Turn the message button back on. And the first message in that inbox, I clicked on it. It was a guy named Justin. And it said, hey, man, we love what you're doing. We're from Louisville, Kentucky, but we live in South Florida right now. We would love for you to come down and see our treatment centers. We would like to talk to you. And I said, okay. I typed a message back. I said, yeah, I would love to see your treatment centers. I didn't think anything of it. And he messaged back almost instantly and said, well, good. We would like to fly you and your family down here and show you what we're doing. So, I messaged Elena. I went home, showed her the message, said, look, there's a lunatic in my inbox that says he wants to fly us down to Florida and show us their treatment centers. Well, we didn't have a whole lot of money at the time, kids, average jobs. And Elena said, in her infinite wisdom, Elena says, well, let's just take their free vacation. Go look at their treatment center and then hang out at the beach the rest of the time if it's nothing, right? So we went. That guy, Justin Broughton, is now my business partner, right? I pushed that button, the message request button, and now he's my partner. I've been traveling the entire country. I have been to the Bahamas, Vegas, Florida, New York, Montana. I went camping and spoke in the mountains of Utah twice. I went and spoke and met the crew of Deadliest Catch in Dutch Harbor, Alaska, twice. All of those people are now my friends. I even spoke at a strip club one time. It was it was one of those things. There was a concert. It was actually a Bubba Sparks concert. A guy had asked me. It was the Overdose Awareness Tour, and it was taking place at a local venue in Louisville, Kentucky. And they asked me if I would speak before Bubba Sparks came out on stage. And I said, yeah, that sounds good. And when they told me the name of the place, I said, hey, man, you realize that's a strip club, right? And they were like, no, we did not realize that. But they gave us a venue. There's a concert hall there. It's separate, whatever. So I had to think about it. It's like, what is a recovery guy doing? I was an aspiring inspirational or motivational speaker at the time. What is a recovery guy doing speaking in a strip club? What kind of message does that send? They're really going to attack me now. They're really going to talk about me now. So I spoke to Elena about it, and we both came to the same conclusion. If one of my family members, one of my daughters, or somebody I care about was working in that place and using dope, I hope somebody, one of you, would accept that invitation and go in there and carry a message to them. And that was it. That was the final decision maker. Elena actually went with me. And I spoke briefly before Bubba Sparks came out. And I came down off stage. There's a guy standing there. And he shook my hand and told me that he had drove to Louisville, Kentucky to see me speak. And I said, well, where did you come from? He said, Terre Haute, Indiana. Terre Haute. Never heard of it. How far is that? He says, about 3 hours. It's like, seriously? You drove 3 hours to see me speak here in a strip club? He's like, yeah. Love what you do, man. That guy was Marty Norman over at Marty Norman Live. Marty Norman is now my business partner. You see, he showed up. Justin showed up when he sent me that message. I showed up when I decided to click the message request button and see what was in there. Here's my question. What if I had never posted that first video? What if Justin had never sent me the first message? What if I never pushed the button? What if I never agreed to speak at a strip club? What if Marty decided it wasn't worth his time or his efforts to drive 3 hours to see me speak. Showing up is 100% of the battle, because when you don't show up, you lose 100% of the time. What will you miss today if you don't show up? What opportunities are waiting on you right now that you're going to say, I don't have the gas for it. I don't have the time. I'm tired. I don't want to do it. What are you going to miss? Just something to think about today, y'all. My name is James Sweezy from James Sweezy Live. You can find out more about me by following me again on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. And yes, I do have a little Pinterest page, but I don't use it. For anything else, head over to www.jamessweezy.com. Thanks for listening.